And there we are. Good morning. Hope everybody can hear and see me okay, and my camera's not doing anything too wonky. It was a good camera. You shouldn't drop your camera. I'm Coleen Sews and Chats for you that may be new. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for all those coming back. And I have a plan, but it's not really a plan because I don't really do plans lately when I go on a live. I don't know. Just one of those things. This morning, I was going to. Oh, there's Melissa's already here, 100 proof, which is Brandy is already here. Things are going through my head at a speed that I can't keep up with. Don Denny, good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone, and good morning to you lurkers. I know you're out there. It's okay. You can lurk. No, I'm not really calling you out. Monday mornings, I have my coffee. Sometimes I do a vlog. Sometimes I just chat. Sometimes I do other stuff. It just depends on what I got. And this morning, it's no different. I was going to sew, but I don't know if I'm actually going to get to sew. And before I forget, and I'll do a reminder later. Oh, I don't know if I changed my pot. Mondays, Melissa is on at 2 Eastern. Brandy 100 Proof Quilter is on at 9 Central in the morning. And I'll try to do that again later. Let's hope I don't forget. Change that to live chat. My chat box is over here. That's why I'm looking over there. And I like timestamps. So get my timestamps on. The bot's working. Good job. Thank you, Melissa. And I saw Brandy had some quality time with her seam ripper last week. I probably wouldn't mind if I could find it. I have the little one that came with my machine. I don't like it. Did you see that? That's tiny. I want something I can hang on to and use as a stiletto. So I also have this thing out. See, that's why use one divorce lawyer, as Brandy calls it, because I can use it as a stiletto too. With this little thing, I have to use this. The stiletto is what I use to help guide the fabric through the machine. If all of you are looking at me going, I don't know what you're talking about, lady. Makes sense. It's only Monday morning in the US. It's the afternoon over in the UK. Good morning, Lori. Sherlock Sews. I have my window open and it smells like rain outside here in the Ozarks today. Let's see, what am I usually untangle my wires before I go live. I know what you're thinking, the ones up here. No, the ones from my mouse and my keyboard. I didn't this morning. Oh, goodness. I plan about an hour. I usually go an hour and a half. I will be over but by 8:30 because I have a phone call at 8:30. So, what am I talking about today? I should make a list. I hurt my back this weekend and I wasn't doing nothing this weekend. First, I guess I'll show you. I did a short. I ordered the book, and it's exclamation book. If anybody wants to drop it, everybody should be able to. I can't even read. The new ladies art company, quick and easy block tool, 110 quilt blocks in 5 sizes with project ideas. Now I was asked, is it really any different than the boxes? The box, I have the one box, and yes, at first I was thinking there was 100 in that box. I should have gotten that one out too. Just a second, pardon my back. I realize it's rude. When you're flying by the seat of your pants, sometimes things like that happen. Thank you, Melissa. This is the Quilt Builder card deck by the same company. Let's see. 50 4x4 two-sided cards. I think only 40 of them. Yeah, 40 of them are actually blocks. This has the 110. And at first, when I was looking through it, I looked through the first few pages and I'm like, got that in the box, got that in the box, got that in the box, got that in the box. And I assumed they were all in the box. Then I got my box out and started looking. I was like, oh no. No, all the ones in this box are not in this book. And this book gives slightly different sizes. The box gives, let's just grab one. I'm dying to do that. See the box, everything is in tiny print. Maybe I'm just old. The box gives 6, 8, 10, 12, 36 sizes. The book gives 6, 9, 12, 13, and this one says 18. Some have 15, some have smaller. So it gives different sizes. All of these, pretty sure. Let's grab another one. We'll just see what it says. Nope. All the ones in the box are the same sizes on each card. It does the same sizes. This actually does some different sizes on them. Didn't realize that till just now. That's why I look surprised. Anyway, Halo over at, I saw somebody else come in. Good morning, Tracy Alberts. Hey, the gang's all here. Gang's not all here, but we're going to say it is because I just wanted to say that. I bought mine over at Halos, and Melissa dropped the link for me for that. And she is planning on, I haven't heard anything confirmed, so I keep saying, as far as I know, she's planning on later this year, and she may stop in later. She comes in sometimes. A quilt along using the book, so you have to have the book to get the dimensions, and I'll try to stop tapping things with my nails. That can't sound nice to you all. Oh, Lisa? Lisa. I was like, who's Lisa, Tracy? Every time she puts Lisa, I see Lisa. Anyway, you need the book to do the sew along with her. I might do a couple little blocks with her. It depends how my other project goes. And it's just kind of how I'm going to do it. And I just found out last night that I will be in the car 5 hours a day. Again, starting 23rd-ish. I do a lot of driving and sitting and waiting. Good morning, Lynn. I didn't see you come in, but I saw people say hi. There you are. Good morning, Lynn. So anyway, that's the book. And I would recommend, I have bad eyes. I can't even, if I have chat on my phone, I can't see the chat on my phone. That's why I don't use it. So I do have bad eyes even with glasses. These will give me a headache trying to read from this book, just like the card deck. Don't know who they're printed for, but clearly not old eyes like mine. I do have this. It's a magnifying glass on a light. I also have, and I was going to get it the other day, when I was talking to Melissa about it, I was like, wow, that's little. I will either rewrite it out so I can see it, or I'll get my other magnifying glass or this one and use it. I'll probably use magnifying glass and then write it out so I can see it. But I love this, not give anything away here. I love the binding on this. It's the spiral binding. So an angel pointed this out so it lays flat. And if you needed to print something out of it, it's pretty nice. You know, you could print it, enlarge it, read it off your computer like that. I have done that before. In fact, I was doing that this weekend. Or just scan it to your computer, I mean. Let's put this away. I don't have enough stuff out. I like doing random blocks, random sizes like I did my Halloween one. I really enjoyed that. And then just putting rail fence. Somebody's been watching Mom and Pop. What's it called? Log cabin. Honestly, still in the country. Let's get it. Some cold coffee now. And yes, this is how mornings go. I get my coffee to a good temperature, and then I put it in front of an open window. That's 50 out. It's actually really nice. Okay, did I miss anybody? If I did, I'm sorry. Welcome. Don Denny says, take a picture with your phone and then zoom in. Works great. Yes, that works too. I have done that too. But I like it when I put it on my monitor because my monitor is right in front of me right now. It's a giant monitor and it's easier for me. Even if I zoom in on the phone, you're only getting a section at a time, even if it's sideways, which works sometimes, but not all the time. So I usually put it up on my monitor so it's big and bold and I can't say, well, I couldn't read that. That's why I messed up. I would say that though. Oh, let's see. We got that. Don Denny. Oh, Melissa, me and you always come up with the same things. Brilliant minds think alike. Oh, great minds think alike, Melissa says. Yes, and Melissa always says. Lynn, Posty just delivered Happy Mail. Yay! Love Happy Mail for everybody. Tracy Albert's getting Happy Mail today. I'm getting Happy Mail tomorrow, which will be the fabric for my project. I think I'm getting it from everybody. And by the way, I'm going to say publicly, I am sorry, Yvette. I'm such a dork, I know. But last week, and then I'll get into the project and how I think that I'm going to do this. Doesn't mean that's how I'm going to do it. That's how I think I'm going to do it at the moment. Last week, I ordered from 3 or 4 places. One said shipped, it wasn't shipped. I emailed them. Another one said shipped and it wasn't coming for 2 weeks and it was supposed to come for a couple of days. And I was like, okay. And then the next one I didn't even get a shipping confirmation for or anything and it showed up. And I'm sitting here going, this one's wrong, this one's wrong, this one's wrong. And I was like, did I get the email from Yvette saying it shipped? Did I delete it? It was confirmed. Was that out? So I'm going crazy. I'm driving myself nuts at this point. So I email Yvette, who clearly needs more stress from me. I was like, did you get the order? I don't care how long it takes here. Did you get it? And that day it shipped and I felt like a heel. And then Melissa tells me, well, she said in the live that she was shipping today. And I was like, I watched the live before I emailed. I got home and I rewatched the live and I still missed it. So I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to be a nag. I was just making sure I got to Yvette. And by the way, Yvette, I'm talking about YvetteRenee.com, I believe, is her site for her store. I probably still have that list. Oh, I can hear my ring clicking. Oh, I do. I do have her site listed like that. Let's share her in case somebody's watching the replay. Because I feel like a heel. I think she knows my heart that, oh, and I don't have up that she's on Fridays now too. Live FPP with Yvette. And Friday evening and Friday morning, our friend Sylvia does FPP. And she's had some free patterns going up. And I made the first one. I haven't made the second one. I may not make the rest of them. I'm very odd about sew-alongs. I'll take one block that I like and do it and put it in something else. But this was the little Japanese, I think she called it Japanese lantern. I only posted a million shorts on it. I should know. I realize. Her pattern is a little bit bigger. I decreased the printing size. What's it called? Scale. I decreased the scale until it worked with a charm pack I had. And is that part of it? No, that's not one. This is what I had left over from the charm pack. So very little waste, and all of this can be used again. And yeah, I'm going to show you trash now. That's all the pieces I had cut off. So for some reason, my mind says FPP is very wasteful. It's really not if you think about it. And for heaven's sake, if you're doing FPP, which I'm not going to be teaching, cut your pieces bigger than you think you need. Always cut the pieces bigger than you think you need. I'm horrible at that. I don't know why. But Sylvia, now see, now I'm messing with Melissa's head. Oh, that is cool. Tracy Albert says she ordered metallic fabric paint pens that are coming in today. Oh, that's exciting. I'm probably going to be looking at paint pens or paint something once I get all this pig in the blanket. Yeah, that's what I'm calling it. Done. Melissa says, maybe I imagined it, but I distinctly remember something about she was going to the post office the next day. I thought I missed it at the end because I've got people around me talking, and so I was like, okay, I'm going to rewatch the whole thing because clearly I'm an idiot. Yeah, I still missed it. I do that. It could very well be there. If I found it, I was going to timestamp it so I wouldn't forget. Sherlock So says, I think you're right, Melissa. Thank you for sharing Sylvia's links. Melissa says, I wouldn't rewatch the entire live for that. LOL. I would. I'm quirky like that. In fact, I'm going to rewatch Brandy's from 2 weeks ago because somebody was interrupting me during that one too. If I can catch up. See, I thought I was doing so good Saturday. I cleaned some rooms, hurt my back, laid down on the couch. I'm going to catch up on YouTube now. I got Quilting with Stephanie Stitches. I got tea quilts. And I was like, I'm caught up. And I kept looking at the page. And of course, pain brain. And I was like, I don't have anybody else to watch. That was not true. I had Mom and Pop to catch up on. I had Brandy to catch up on. Now I'm just dropping names. No, but so now I still have them to catch up on. I didn't realize it yesterday either. Seeing what I have here. I was helping Sylvia get some stuff into Google Docs. And let's see, this week, what did she do the other day? She did the crown. Seeing if I had that printed out, I was going to show you not the crown, cone. Is it the last one? Oh, I didn't print okay, I give up. She did the Japanese comb this last Saturday. Oh, and these are all, I bought these at Yvette's. They are Tulip Pink, True Colors. I remember them because I remember this song. And I was going to show you all. Oh, goodness, I've got to stop opening that window. The cold air hits me. I only have a few FPP I have done, and I've probably shown them before, but since I had the box out, I thought before I put it up, I would show you again. And good morning, anybody who entered and I didn't say good morning to. I apologize. I promise you it is not intentional. Just trying to see the camera, trying to think what I'm going to do, checking out the chat. If you want my attention and you do at Coleen Sews and Chats, 1L, it will highlight my name for me and I can see it. If you want to tag a mod, you can highlight their name or use their name in caps. That will also get their attention or my attention because caps is considered yelling. That means you want my attention from the gamer's point of view. And if I still do not see it, you just keep putting that bad boy in there. Hopefully the bot doesn't tag you as spamming the channel though. Comb, yes. See, I should have looked at my chat. Comb. And there's Brandy, who will be up at 9 o'clock this morning. Thank you, Melissa. I only know it's a comb because I don't see a comb in it. I think that's, well, she made me a crown to go on. I don't know if you can, well, you can't see it. It's up there. She made me an FPP crown. I haven't printed that out yet because I was fighting my printer all day yesterday. The paper I use for FPP, and this is going to turn into an FPP thing, is drawing paper. I get it. I don't think I put any links underneath this, so I'm going to have to get on that. I get this at Amazon, and I use the smaller stitch, and it tears off fine. I haven't had remnants I had to pick out or anything, but my printer has decided it hates it. It's so thin, it doesn't want to grab it and push it through. So every other time I print, it's telling me I have a paper jam. The printer's across the room, so I get up, I fix the paper jam, I sit back down. Try to pen a page, it paper jams, I get up, fix it, I sit back. And this is the fight that I had all day yesterday. And I was thinking I'd get a new printer, but getting a new printer, I would possibly have the same issue since it's still very thin paper. Okay. Now these are, well, the last one is, let's see if I got this. The last one is Sylvia's. I just had the other one in my hand. I don't know where to put it. I haven't taken the papers off of this yet because they were harder to get off. The actual FPP, it's like stabilizer kind of actual FPP paper. I do have some of that. I think it is harder to take. Let's see. Yeah, that's harder to tear off, even with the small stitch. That's why it's still in the back. Yes, it is. And that's where it's going to stay until I figure out what's going to go in. It's not going to hurt anything. Oh, my nose itches like crazy. Must be alive. This is the first one I learned from Yvette. And I did learn foundation paper piecing from Yvette. Was that the second one? Oh. They went in stages. I'm trying to remember. I just know that was the first one, let's say. Then I did that one. She has a group. Sylvia teaches FPP too, and when she's live Friday morning, she's not going to be live the 27th, but when she's live Friday morning, she is happy to take questions, and she is great. And she really has a different style of doing it than Yvette, and I'm kind of in the middle of those two. But what I was thinking is every time I do FPP, I use the same fabric line. That's why it's all in a box over here. Oh, I like this one. I like this one. Oh, that one's upright. It's butterfly. Yeah. My pressing was wonky. Imagine that. So anyway, I'm going to use the same ones, and eventually all of these will go into a quilt for probably one of my nieces, maybe granddaughter. Where's that one I just made? I want to put it down there. And that's how I keep them organized. I keep all these FPP blocks in here with the fabrics I chose for it. There's the rest of Sylvia's patterns. Oh, Piecing It Real, thank you. Melissa put Yvette's group in there, Piecing It Real. It is a paid group. It is not on Facebook. It is just a regular web page that you go to and you join. And they do live Zooms. Is it one Monday a month? I can't remember now. It's been a while since I was in there. That's why I pull up the commands for the Nightbot. Thank you. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. My brain is not keeping up with anything I want to do lately. But this is where I keep, oh, glaring, sorry. No matter where I'm going to go, I'm going to get glare. In the FPP box, which I can now put back on my bookcase. Trying to put that on my fabrics. Picking a blanket. Okay, I'm gonna have to start keeping tissue over here because this is gonna drive me nuts. Pardon me and my rudeness while I step aside for it real quick because cold window is making my nose runny. And the itching isn't helping. Okay, I brought back a clean one in case it doesn't stop. Stay. Somewhere there are news people going, dead air, dead air. Why is the woman left? There's dead air. That's what I think. Every time it gets quiet, I'm like, dead air. I have problems. Luckily, sanity isn't one of them. Oh, Melissa says her coffee hasn't kicked in yet. It'll get there. Mine should have, but I also put some jelly on my toast so I'd get that extra sugar kick. Clearly I need. Melissa says, sanity? And we have a runner. Good morning, Deborah Holman. You snuck right in there when I was trying to be funny. Good to see you this morning. I hope everybody had a great weekend. What I'm thinking, and I was going to sew, but who knows if I'm going to get to sew or not because I'm talking a lot. I have these fabrics that I didn't know what I was going to do with. I'm thinking make some simple blocks. And if your mind can quilt quickly, mine can. If somebody explained this like I'm about to, I'd be going, huh? I will have to put in pictures eventually. I'm thinking I think because there's a dark fabric, a medium fabric, and a light fabric here purposely. I picked those. Now take the dark and the medium fabric, make 2 at a time HSTs, so then I have a half square triangle, and then I will take the light fabric on top of those and sew it the opposite way. Like here's the HST, it's going this way, so I'm going to sew the fabric this way, and then when they come apart, I'll have I don't know, it probably turns into a pinwheel if I put them together. But I don't think I'm going to put them together. I think, what size are they going to be? 5.5 before the third piece of fabric goes on. So probably 5-ish inches. I always say ish because likelihood it's perfect is none. But I'm going to get a new command in the bot, and I'll explain that in a second. But anyway, so I'm going to do those blocks, and I'm going to put all that fabrics over there. The rest of this line, or maybe more of this, I'm going to do a block the same size in between. So maybe that'll look interesting. It's on the back of a wall hanging. In reality, nobody's going to see it. But I kind of thought if I put it on the back and they want to use it for something else, like over their couch or just as a cover, because my bonus mama gets cold. She needs a cover. I made a couple for her, a quilt and a knitted blanket, and she loves them. So that's the plan. 3-piece of some kind quilt block, solid block, and that's going to be the entire back of that. That's part of the plan. I should have started this a couple days ago, but like I said, I haven't been doing anything. Thank goodness I have until May to finish it. I'm going to say May, maybe March. Deborah, but what I was going to say is I was going to put a command in my bot that's exclamation FOMO. And every time I see a deleted message, it's just going to come up and say, thank you for triggering fear of missing out in me. I needed to panic. Just because I think I'm lying. It's not because I actually do. Oh. I tease a lot. You really cannot take half of what I say seriously, and the other half is also questionable. Oh, what grocery shopping? Oh, Deborah says, went grocery shopping yesterday, and oh my wallet is a lot lighter. That happens when I go fabric shopping. And noticed some things have really went up. Lynn Violet's distracted, brought my spare machine downstairs, trying to get perfect zigzag tension is all wrong. Reading manual, haven't used the machine for a while. Lori, Sherlock Show says she's going today. Deborah, I hate grocery shopping. My husband does the grocery shopping because of my back. I really didn't mind it, mainly because it got me out of the house with all of the kids. Kids stayed at home. I got to leave for 45 minutes. No doubt. Dawn says, won't be long. We'll have to take out loans for groceries. I know. Amen, Dawn. Melissa says. Melissa is practically creative. Did a grocery order Friday. Heavy came home from picking it up and was shocked at how much that little bit of groceries cost. Now, it doesn't bother me when the bill says hundreds of dollars and my grocery cart is pretty much full. But when I come out and I spend $100 and I have one bag, I'm thinking I'm not making good choices. But that's just how it is. We do all of our shopping at Walmart. So it's groceries and any necessities like detergents and stuff. Pardon me. So it's not unusual to have a huge bill. Sherlock says, I have a limit on fabric shopping. I think I've reached my limit. Brandy says, I do pickups, order online, that is just from the car to the house, easier on my back. Yeah. Well, they just started that. My husband's been doing the grocery shopping for a long time, and he's having some health problems. So I'm going through my head, even though we didn't know what was going on, still don't know what's going on. They've got more tests to do. Should know by probably the second week in February what all is going to happen. But I was thinking, I can't go grocery shopping and spend 5 hours in a car. I physically cannot do that. So I'm sitting there thinking, grocery pickup. Get everything I can through grocery pickup. The problem with grocery pickup is they keep messing up my order. And it's driving me nuts. When you do grocery pickup from Walmart, you have to click on every item and say whether or not you want to substitute. And know the people shopping for you probably don't know what you want. I put 1/4 inch bias tape. I thought that was pretty specific. I put it in the bag. I ordered it. I thought if they replace it with some other 1/4 inch bias tape that's black or something, that's okay. But surely they're not going to replace it because that's kind of specific. It's like replacing and this is what I told them because this is what I was thinking. It's like somebody wanting a 1/4 inch socket and you giving them a 1/2 inch socket. That's not going to work. Just in case you do, that's not going to work. In case you think it will work, that's not going to work. I was like, why would you do that? You have to click on everyone and tell them whether or not you want it substituted for whatever they feel like. And I ordered some iridescent nail polish. They gave me taupe, which for anyone who's wondering, that's more of a light tan kind of. Yeah, that's the same as rainbow iridescent. And we have moved on to the ranting section of the live this morning. Okay. Now what I got this out for. This is Pelon 905F. It's a noise maker. Single-sided fusible. I have not done applique. I don't know how to do applique, but my mind thinks it's a brilliant idea that I try it. The rest of me is arguing. What I'm thinking is all these little letters I printed out on the printer, kind of FPP style is what I'm planning on doing. Put the bumpy side, which is the side with the glue on it, next to the right side of the fabric, right? Yeah. Put the, you don't know what I'm talking about. Bumpy side next to the good side of the pretty side of the fabric. Put this on top, stitch that outline, and of course I'll have to stitch this and cut down the middle for this one. I will figure it out as I go. And then I could turn it and the fusible, is that right? The fusible, I don't have that right, do I? Anyway, the fusible is going to be on this side. That's right. Okay. Has to be this way. That way when it's turned, it goes that way. So sticky side up, away from the pretty side. See, I will remember that because I'm going to be thinking that every time. And then it's going to be fiddly for me to turn it. I realize this. But then I'm going to turn these in. And I just need enough of this on it to grab the fabric to help turn it and temporarily stick it down. I'll probably use pins too. But that's how I'm going to put all the letters on. Guess who, Nancy? Do I want the letters to look as if they were floating? No. Let's put this back down, get this back up. Good morning. Guess who, Nancy? She says, my phone will not let me chat with you because it says I'm a new sub. I'm using my old phone now. I saw that and I texted you in Discord because I got a new sub from you and I was wondering if it's somebody spoofing you, you know, hijacking your name and putting stuff up, trying to make people think it was you. So you actually made a new account is what it said. And it showed whatever day you joined, Friday, Saturday. That's what it told me when you joined. So it's a new account. So now you have 2 accounts. That's good to know though, because I would block the other one just because people make those and they spoof them so they can do things like cause trouble in chat. I know. Who would do that? Let me get this put away because it's going to drive me nuts. I shouldn't be putting away things during the live, but that's how my mind works. You get it out? I saw a meme my friend Dee Dee put up, a place for everything and everything in its place. Yeah, I know. Not everybody likes that, but yeah, pretty much. I don't want my letters going all over creation. I'm going to go back and read what Melissa was talking about. Let's see. Okay. Melissa says, when they first started doing pickups, talking about store orders, we kept getting cucumbers for zucchini. Deborah Holman says not Walmart, does Aldi's, and I don't know what the other place is. Measure. It looks fancy. Having a grandson do the heavy stuff. I point and it goes into the cart. Oh, that's what I was thinking. If I do have to go into the store, I'm going to have to take the kid along, and he's going to have to help. I can't do it all. My husband keeps forgetting I am actually disabled. Let's see. Brandy says, I spend less that way too because I walk through the store. Oh, that's on sale. And oh, I need that. And oh, I forgot that. Yeah. I used to come home with lots of things that didn't really need. They do that on purpose. We are their target audience for things in the middle of the aisle. Oh, and I saw Nancy come in. Oh, Nancy got holiday pay for today. Yay. Okay, and then Melissa says, do you want them to look like they're floating? Good morning. Good evening. Good evening, Janet Johnson. She's in Australia. I hope you're doing good today. Now, is it the end of Monday in Australia? And what day is it in Australia? Yeah, I don't know. All I know is it's in Australia and it's evening. And I would say good day like Crocodile Dundee, but it won't sound like Crocodile Dundee, and I might get unsubbed for it. Oh, Deborah says you need heat and bond. I use it for applique. I have heat and bond. I have double-sided and single-sided fusible heat and bond. I think it's single-sided, but I do have heat and bond. I just had a lot of this left over. What I got this for was the quilt in a day double wedding ring, and I drew all my arcs out of it, and this is what I had left over, so I wanted to use it because I don't like things sitting around my house. And why buy more if this will work? Will it work? I don't know. Guess who, Nancy? Oh my, probably about the 2 accounts. Lynn, I'm trying the pattern that Teresa Louise is doing, hence the zigzag stitch. Oh, cool. Melissa says heat and bond would work better in her opinion. Okay, now we're going to have to Discord or something, and you explain to me what you mean by floating. Because now heat is heat and bond, would you do it the same way? Would it be turned edges, or would it be a raw edge and it would just hold it in place while you do that raw edge? Because I'm trying to avoid raw edges. I may have a couple. I don't know. Monday evening, 9 o'clock. Okay, so it's Monday evening over in Australia. Guess who, Nancy? Oh, thank you all. I figured it out. Yay. Melissa will be right back. Oh, by using that, will it be puffy? It shouldn't be. This is, I was going to bring it in here and I forgot. I actually have some that I used on the double wedding ring. It does stand out a little bit, but I think if I used a close together stitch going around it, it wouldn't stand out as much. It does stand out a little bit. And I don't think that it really doesn't matter. So if I wanted to be, try different things, which this is different things for me, I could probably get that heat and bond to try it too. But I think Melissa said you're not supposed to sew on the double-sided fusible heat and bond, so I would have to read that and see. I knew y'all would know better than me. Sherlock says, I think heat and bond is raw edges, I think. Okay, and that's what I was trying to avoid, because when I did the arcs, and I really wish I would have gotten that. Can y'all live with dead air for like 2 seconds? I will run and get that and come back so I can show you what I'm talking about. Okay, by using that, Coleen, will it be puffy? I think heat and bond raw edges. Going by some people I watch doing the applique, I need to watch more Lisa Capen. She's really the only person besides Melissa that I've seen do applique. Deborah says heat and bond can be used either way. Okay. You can sew on heat and bond light, but not the ultra hold, is what Tracy says. Oh, Janet Johnson says, check out Lori Holt. She's big help if it's applique you are doing. Okay. I'll watch some Lori Holt too. I have watched some of hers. I start feeling like I'm trying to get sold stuff nonstop sometimes. So I'm like, but I have watched hers. Her organizing. Oh my gosh. She has so much stuff. And it is so well cut. And the fabrics. I'm not going to fangirl. Okay, I'm going to be right back so y'all can see what this did when I used it. Pardon me, hum a little tune in your head, say something nice to somebody, sit there quietly with your hands in your lap if you need to. I'll be right back. Okay, why is my phone doing weird things? Look at that, I made it back and I found strings, threads. Okay, I actually turned my phone all the way down I should get a notice in my ear, though, if my husband needs me. This, I'm going to replace this with a plastic box just as soon as I get an order from Walmart. Because they're like $4, I think, at the store. It's about the same size, but I like that it has a lid, and it should be identical to that one I have to do my FPP in, which I like the same things. This is Orphan Box. It only looks like it's overflowing. They actually all fit in there. I didn't want to put them back when I got them out this weekend. This one, let's see, that's not it. This was me trying to figure out how to use that. Come on, stuff. I'll tell you what I didn't like about it, and that's one reason I want to use it up, is you do have to use a wet pressing cloth, which I can do. I'm just not super happy about having to do it. Let's see, what did I miss? Ooh. Brandy says, I have all the pieces to start a Lori Holt project. I just haven't started it yet. Janet, I've learned a lot from her. Practically creative. Lori Holt has a storage shed for her excess. I need to show a storage shed. That would be cool. I have a bookcase. And I'm trying to stick to putting it in there. Oh, good morning. Steve. Land Designs and the Idiot Quilter. Hi. I saw you, and I need to go watch it on your channel, or at least let it play, because I was catching up on stuff this weekend. And so I saw your guys' collab together, and that looks like fun. If you guys haven't checked out Steve, and I keep saying Steve. Okay, it's Steve. I don't know what my brain's thinking. If you haven't checked out Steve, and I think I've got a link to him. If I don't, I should, and I will correct that shortly. No, I don't. Shame on me. But him and Quilting with Stephanie Stitches are doing a sew along. Just started. Still time to get in there, catch up, join their Facebook groups, so you can share Instagram. I can't remember how they're doing it. I've slept since then. Do you have a window open? Yes, I do. Do you see a breeze coming through? Is it messing with you, Nancy? I'm sorry. I was trying to remember. I saw Steve come in, and I was like, do I? Don't I? Do I? Links. That's all I could think. I apologize. Let's see. I sent you a request for an interview, but you have not heard from you. Would love to interview. You did? What did you send it on? I'm terrible at checking my emails. I will get back to you. Is it the one Stephanie has? Because Stephanie, Quilting with Stephanie Stitches, has a different email for me than anybody else. Because that's my shopping email. But I will get a hold of you. I'll go over to your page, find your email, and I will get a hold of you. I'll put it at the top. We'll talk. I will tell you it's going to have to be after I find out what's going on with my husband, because I'm just not making a whole lot of plans till I find out what's wrong with him. And that will be hopefully the first week of February. We'll find out. And then if he needs surgery, that's going to blow everything out. So it's going to be a little bit before I can commit to that. I'm sorry. This is like come out, and I knew something was wrong, so it didn't really come out of nowhere. But him going to the doctor and find out that something is wrong is a little bit different than just knowing, you know? Okay, good Jill. Good. Words are heard. Okay, back to the chat. Everybody said good morning to Steve. Lori, I have many projects going. Was going to work on one yesterday, but stayed in couch mode. LOL. Yeah. I tried to stay on the couch. The printer wanted to fight all day, and it about got a hammer. Let's see. Everybody's saying hi to Steve. Yay. Tracy will be right back. Thank you, Melissa, for sharing Steve's link at Bland Designs. So he has a YouTube channel. If you haven't checked him out, you should. And you should join both of them and watch on both of their channels because it's good for everybody. A rising tide lifts all ships. Let's be the tide. Oh, sent it as a comment. Why am I not seeing that? I check my comments. I'm going to have to look through. I will email you though. In fact, I'm going to write it down. Everybody knows that I decluttered a whole bunch of these little baggies and cardboards. Clearly I missed some. I still have the hoarding problem. I'm writing it down because I forget. If I don't write things down, I forget. Best intentions. I will do that today. Email Steve. This was my measurements for this, so I will see it. Sometimes when I put things in front of my face, I get blind to them. Thank you. Thank you both. Steve says not to worry, family comes first. I know we all understand that. Things don't usually come up for me. Usually I'm sitting here day in, day out. Only thing I have to do is drive to town, back all day long for 5 hours. Now I actually have to plan to wait. And thank you so much. Guess who, Nancy? Praying all is okay with your hubby. Might be having knee replacement surgery this year. Oh my goodness. Prayers for you, Deborah. I think that's what my mom and my sister have both had. And what I have heard is do the exercises. Do the exercises religiously if you want that to go well. That's what I've heard. Have you got any goals for this year? Janet asked, and Melissa replies, Janet, I read that as goats. You see a pig in the background, suddenly you think I got goats. I have no animals. I have no cats. I have no dogs. I have no goats. I have no cows. Goals this year. My only goal for this year at the moment is to get this for the farmer's market for my in-laws. They have a farm. Get that done. And I usually have a quilting goal, but it's a basic quilting goal. Like last year, I wanted to follow a pattern because I hadn't followed an actual pattern yet. And I've done that. I want to try applique, I think, this year. I think so. I'm going to. It may be a mess. I may not do it on lives, but I am going to do that. And I was going to show you this when I got sidetracked. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Melissa. Melissa sent me a text. Okay, with the email address. Great, Steve. Thank you. I appreciate that. Brandy has to run. Get gas for the car. Get ready for her live. Keep you and your husband in my thoughts. Thank you, Brandy. And don't forget, Brandy's on at 9 Central. So in an hour and a half-ish. Thank you for joining us, Brandy. I appreciate that. I know you're really busy and you work nights and it's hectic. Let's see, drive safe. Tracy's back. Had right knee done about 5 years ago, Deborah Holman says. Left knee is jealous. The grass is not greener, left knee, just so you know. Okay, now these arches that I did, you can see they do have a little, if my camera will pick it up, a little puff. They're puffed out just a little bit. But really, when I look at it, it's not much different than these little I don't know what to call them. They're end caps today. Than the end caps. But this one, I haven't stitched down. I just used the fusible and put it on there. And like I said, you need a wet pressing cloth and a hot iron for that. And that's not my favorite way to do it. And this is more of those, which I did stitch down. I'll even show you the mess I made in the back with it. I missed places. Or is that an intentional pocket? It's an intentional pocket now. Look at that. I made a pocket. Janet Johnson says I should ask Sean about applique. He will help me. Cool. Thank you. Everybody says beautiful. This was, I wanted to see how big it was going to be. Again, that's pretty big. I don't think I want to do an entire quilt. I may put a back on this, and I should totally do that. Put a back on this, make just like a giant pillow. My mom might like that. I'm going to show you the back of it. Don't judge. I didn't know what I was doing. Didn't know about, well, I never tried. Let's just say don't judge. Be nice. That's a mess. That, oh my goodness, that is a mess. I did not read the directions for putting these together. I didn't. I got me the rings done, then a piece of fabric, cut what size I thought it should be, and I put it together. I'm going to try reading the directions. And maybe since Angel has that sew along and I want to do a couple blocks that she's doing, after that, I may make a runner for my bed in blues like this. Maybe not with that because I think I'd rather do some applique, but oh, I don't know. It is puffy. It has pockets. I wonder how many pockets I got. I was learning to make things fancy with my words this weekend. I was feeling fancy. I was like, oh my gosh. I had a resume writing class in school, and I remember that teacher. To me, it wasn't lying, but it was so close to lying it felt like it to me. I don't care if it's true. I have a hard time with that. Sometimes when I'm being funny, I'll do things like that, like our international sewing bee that we do. Technically, Sylvia's in UK, so it qualifies. Melissa, I need to jump back up. Pretty, love that, very pretty. Thank you. I don't know. Thinking that I had no idea what I was doing. I need to give myself a little room. Probably get some purple thread and go back over that to get rid of these pockets. Deborah Holdman says, no judgment here. Tracy says, who cares what the back looks like? The front looks great. No one sees the back. It's fine, Melissa says. Nobody looks at the back. LOL. It is international. And after, actually, I remember I was watching a lot of Missouri Star when I started. And I remember her saying, friends don't look at friends' seams. That's the first thing I tell my mom when I send her a quilt. Friends don't look at friends' seams, Mom. And if you're taking the quilt apart, shame on you. But anyway, I could actually neaten those up quite a bit. Just a little bit of spinning. It'll probably be easier. I wouldn't quilt through that. I'd quilt around it. Path of least resistance is what I go for. But anyway, that was the kind of lettering. Of course, you could see some of the, well, you could see it clearly on the camera. At least I can. You could see some of the white where I didn't turn that so well. I learned lessons. Anyway, oh, and if I make that into a pillow, I can actually make this in with the pillow back. It's just an orphan block that's going to lose all its points. I am unashamed. But this is actually my orphan Dresden box. I should get that box this week. I like organizing. Well, those aren't, but most of them are. I don't know what I was doing. I get bored and I want to make Dresdens, and then I make a few and I'm over it quickly. I was planning on put these on the back of the quilts I made for my nieces, and I completely forgot. I love these two. I hated the fabric when I got them. But put together, it's beautiful, and I love it, and I need to stop judging. Oh, Deborah's doing something. Jenny from Missouri Star says no one sees the back. Yes, she does, and she's a smart lady. I've learned all my bad habits from her. I'm teasy. But it makes sense. Nobody looks at the back. Nobody looks at your seams. And nobody should be coming over and measuring your block to make sure that this one's the exact same size as this one. So if it makes you happy, if it drives you crazy, change it. If it makes you happy, the person who gets it should be happy, in my opinion. And I'm going to tell my mom, I lost all those intentionally. She'll see it. It was a design choice, like the pocket. We're getting rid of the pocket, not keeping the pocket. Oh, let's see. Don Denny says, I always tell my recipients for my quilts, no warranty. There you go. Deborah Holdman, Melissa, I am going to find my VW bus bag and take a pic later. Cool. I shouldn't put my fingers during live, should I? That probably sounds bad. Yay, Deborah. Can't wait to see it. Melissa says, if someone goes through your quilt stitches, they don't deserve the quilt. Lori says, yes. You know, I've got to call my mom. After this live, my husband will call. Then I'll call my mom. Then hopefully I'll get back on time to watch Brandy, even if I can't be in chat because there's laundry to be done. And yeah, in a few hours I'm going to be useless, so I need to do it while I can't do it. But I sent a quilt to someone. They got it a week ago, according to the USPS, and I haven't heard a word. I thought at the very least the person would tell my mom, hey, I got a quilt from Coleen. I haven't heard a word, and I'm starting to think it was stolen. But I don't want to call and ask. No, let it go. I guess I'll just let it go. I am going to call my mom. If she doesn't mention it, I might ask. It's the 3-yard quilt. The 3-yard quilt that I mailed the recipient. It says they got it, but they've had a lot going on, so I don't want to see, that's the thing. I don't like bugging people. That is my last resort. Don't listen to my husband. He says I bug everybody. He doesn't know. Let's see. Lori says, no one sews the same. Melissa says, if anyone is looking that closely at your quilt, they need to quit. They aren't quilt worthy. I know, right? I've already told my mother-in-law, don't take apart the binding. You're going to find more binding. I think I said it to her so long ago, though, because I finished that quilt over the summer, I think. It was early fall. There went my earbud. And I told her that it has double binding. So don't take it off. But if it wears off, it'll be fine because there's more under there. I do what I can do. If I want to take the binding completely off after I've put it all on and done all that, it's going to take me weeks before I could do anything else. That's not fun for me. Doing it wrong, but doing it the best I can, and then giving it away makes me happy. And I tell them, if it falls apart, it falls apart. I'm okay with that. It's not going to hurt my feelings. It just means it's used or I made it poorly. Either way, you've got a quilt for a little while. Deborah, I want warm weather. Brr. I'm getting a little chilly. My coffee is definitely, this is now iced coffee. And for everybody just joining, in case you didn't know, by the name on the channel, wherever it is, don't YouTube much though. I don't know where that name is. I'm Coleen Sews and Chats, and we're chatting this morning about sewing, not doing sewing. And we've been on a while. I need to scoot back in this chair. That's something I need to learn to do during lives, is sit back in my chair. Because my lower back is not being supported when I'm sitting on the edge of the chair. But I like sitting on the edge of the chair. It's a problem. Okay. Do I have anything else? I was going to cut this, but I think I want to cut these fabrics over there. I might record it into a short. Oh, I do have Sylvia's. It's a 10-minute. I need to do a voiceover on it for the Japanese lantern. I do have a 10-minute of that FPP done. I am not teaching FPP. I thought I saw a deer. There's not a deer. Squirrel. No. I have no desire to teach FPP. I know people who teach FPP, like Sylvia. I would much rather send you to them. I could show you what I do, but there are so many people. We all talk differently. We all learn differently. We are, our brains communicate differently. I've never thought of myself as a teacher. I can show things, but I was reading the chat. But I don't know that I've never wanted to be a teacher. I know. So I do what I can, and if it helps someone, like these letters, I just found out this may not make me happy, but I'm going to use it anyway. And then the next time I'll know better. I hope I'm going to use it anyway. I may wind up quitting halfway through and going with something else, because I'll tell you, all the ladies in chat been doing this longer than me, pretty sure. Deborah wants one warm water. I said that, practically creative. It's 35 here this morning. It is warmer in Missouri this morning than it is in Florida. There's something wrong. Deborah, grandson is laughing at me as I was filling in Colleen's words as she repeated it. I need help with words. Words are heard. My husband is getting that forgetful brain thing that happens when your body's under a lot of stress. The other morning, I was having to finish his sentences. That never happens. He's usually looking at me going, just say it. I'm like, hang on a second. I don't know what it's doing. My mind's paying bills. It's doing laundry. It's cleaning the house. It's organizing fabric. Let it come back to where it needs to go to finish that sentence. Women and men think differently. I think everybody thinks differently. I think that's just something that women are from Venus, men are from Mars book. I've never read it, but I think all of us are from somewhere else. Yes, and someone later is going to. I watched Coleen. She says the weirdest things. Lori says, it's 27 out. I'm done with the wacky weather. Good morning, Martha's Creative Life. And Martha is in the bot. How was your weekend? Doesn't like how I spell Martha, but it better work. Deborah says, I have to finish gathering AMVET stuff. Laundry here too. Don Denny, dang, I've got so many quilts on the back of my sewing chair. I bumped it and it almost tipped the cat. Be careful where you step in a sewing room. This box of my unfinished orphan blocks was sitting in the middle of my floor, in the room where the bookcase is, the other day, because I was looking for some, and once I found it, it sat in the middle of the floor, and that's where it sat. I think until the next day. Oh. See, Steve says the Bland Designs and the Idiot Quilter says, we don't think differently. We just don't say everything out loud. If we told you how we think, we would have to kill you. I totally get that. I've tried telling my husband how I think sometimes, and he's just like, squirrel. And then squirrel. And then, oh yeah, there's a squirrel. Let's go chase it. And while we're not chasing squirrels, there's rabbit holes to be jumped down. I was up till midnight the other night doing Ancestry. I did not want to do Ancestry, but somehow I stayed up till midnight doing it. They changed, if you do Ancestry, this is not quilting related. If you're on Ancestry and you've gotten your DNA done, they've changed the way they can show you which side of the family it's on. Even if your mother and father haven't gotten their DNA done, they can separate it into parent 1 and parent 2. So you can kind of see how that works, which is fun because my cousin and my husband is like his 6th to 8th cousin of my second cousin. And we're like, don't worry, we're not related. I kept telling them, no, it's not through the side you think it is. That's wrong on ancestry trees everywhere. Oh, Melissa, I'm actually surprised. I spelled Stephen correctly. My brother is Stephen with an O. I don't think I've ever seen Stephen with an O. At Stephen. Hubby just said the same last night. LOL. Pinterest is my rabbit hole. Oh, I don't go to Pinterest. It's a problem. And Stephen says, told you all men think alike. We all got the same email. Y'all need to quit that. If us women got together, just saying. Martha, my hubby tells me everything about how he feels. I'm not dead yet. Thank goodness. This weekend, I've said this before about fishing because on Discord, it's got a fishing game that, well, when my back's, I can't do anything. I can lay and click. So I play the fishing game and I put on there one day, I fish because it's wrong to punch people. And then I made I don't know if you call it a meme or what. It's just a background. And it says, I quilt because killing people is wrong. That's the kind of weekend it was too. I was just sitting there going, one more thing. One more thing. Somebody's going to come up missing. My printer very nearly got a hammer taken to it. If I could have lifted a hammer, it would have. I had it. And I noticed a lot of quilters like true crime. I follow the behavioral panel. I know Sherlock So's does. They do body language stuff. And they usually, right now, they're off on the Royals rabbit hole. But they usually have a lot of true crime body language they're reading and stuff. And it is so funny. Most of it, I don't get it all. My husband gets like that. Which is probably why he's always telling me about people. Whether he thinks that I shouldn't talk to him or not. He's like, you shouldn't talk to them. Like, why? They're fine. Till you find out they're not. Benefit of the doubt is my favorite thing to say. Burns me just about every time. Oh, Deborah, Pinterest is my rabbit hole. I saw that. Steven told you. Oh, man, think I saw that. See, I'm caught up in chat. I don't know what I'd do if thousands came on, or thousands. It may be in grandiose. If, 20s, was that a thing? It's not hundreds, but 20s came on and the chat started scrolling. I just sit here and look at the camera and say, I'm sorry. I'm going to let that go. Oh. Melissa says, my mother is from Kentucky. No one there can spell. I use Vista Create. It does not have spell check. My fingers go at a different rate than my brain when I'm telling them how to spell things sometimes. It'll invert letters, and I'm just a bad speller. Let's be honest. I spell badly. So I'll put something up and then I'll realize that's spelled wrong and I'll have to take it down off YouTube and then I'll put it back up, corrected. But Canvas is another free program. It's like Vista Create, but I haven't played with it enough. My mother-in-law told me about it. Guess who, Nancy? So that's why I can't spell the Kentucky thing. We ran out of Martha's Creative Life. We ran out of ink this weekend, so frustrated. And our local store was out of the ink we needed. So trip to the big city, LOL. Yeah. Well, first I thought I'm going to have to replace the printer. So I started searching for printers. And then I thought I'm going to try it one more time because I've got a brand new, I just put new ink in it. And I've got another brand new black cartridge of ink. And you know, those things are like $30. So I was going to try it one more time. Oh, it's working. Thank you. Thank you. It's working. Yes. 2 pages in, it's eating the paper again. It's not even eating the paper. I just go over there, I push the button, it rolls the paper out. There's nothing wrong with the paper. There's no dust now. Last night it started tearing the paper, which is when I unplugged it. I said, this is another day's fight. Oh my goodness. Melissa's not into true crime stuff. Grew up around too much of it. Yeah. I imagine that makes a difference. When you're in the middle of it, you really don't want more. Tracy says, my saying is, I craft so I don't choke people. So save a life and send a fabric. That should be on t-shirts. Oh, I saw Martha Anderson for you who just came in. Let's see. Oh, yeah, scrolling on me. Behave. Thank you for being in chat. Thank you for joining me this morning. Thank you for having fun with me this morning. Let's see. Steven said, I'm a bad speller as well. Ironically, I was a high school English teacher. Every time I meet an English teacher, I feel like I should tell them I'm sorry for everything you're about to see me write. And the words coming out of my mouth. I talk and write the same. So these run-on sentences with no punctuation are normal for me. And gonna and ain't. I had a girlfriend. She's like, why do you say ain't all the time? I don't know. So I stopped saying ain't. Recently, I've decided I'm going to start saying ain't again because it's just what comes naturally. And it's fine. Why? Because I live in the Ozarks and that's how we roll. Maybe. Yes, that's true. Let's see. And then Martha came and said, hello, everyone. Just started. And Martha's Creative Life, me either at Practically Creative. Practically Creative. Miss Melissa says, I have stopped sending Coleen emails or text messaging asking about misspelled words. Bless her heart, she has. Yeah. I don't know if you can be a big YouTuber when you misspell every other word and post it. That's okay. I'm happy where I am. I just let people know I mispronounce words. I misspell words. I use run-on sentences, and you never know which rabbit hole I'm going to jump in the middle of one. Oh, okay. Back to the chat. Rather I say that's funny but cute, Stephen. Now, before I forget, and I forgot last week, I was thinking it was a pre-record. I knew it was a live. Stephen and Stephanie Stitches live Wednesday morning, doing their so long. Let's see. Lori, gotta run, washing to do, and making the market list. Have fun, Lori, and take care. Try to stay warm. Martha Anderson for you, watching the panel, guys. Phone was blinking at me. Yes, I check, because if something does happen to my husband at work, he works around a lot of big machineries and stuff. I have to be accessible. And somebody may grab his phone and just, I've told him that's why he keeps me as he's supposed to keep me. I haven't really looked at his phone to see if I'm in there. It either says home or wife. So if somebody grabs his phone, they can see, hey, this is the person we should be calling, I would hope. I don't know that I give him that much credit where he works, but let's see. Oh, lots of pink hands. Oh, Janet is going to bed. Good night, Janet. Sleep well. Now, Steve is, I keep wanting to say Steven. Steve is up in Canada. Around to it, Shirley says, hello, everyone. Hi, Shirley. She's also in Canada. I have some relatives in Canada I just found from Ancestry. I don't contact the relatives I find on Ancestry. Nobody wants this crazy to be related to them. Yes, in Canada. Rabbit holes are fun. Martha's Creative Life says, I know, right? They make conversations more interesting when you're talking to someone who's willing to go down everyone chasing squirrels. Guess who, Nancy? My teacher. Oh, that's what I was trying to read. Steve says, yawn equals you. Spelling right? Yep. Close enough. Guess who, Nancy says? My teacher told me if you don't speak English, you can spell. Right? I had a lot of foreign friends when I was in junior high and high school who English was their second language. And a lot of times I'll catch myself saying, English is not my second language, though you couldn't tell. And I don't mean that offensively or anything. It's just I had a lot of friends. In fact, I was telling Melissa earlier, I can actually say that I'm, according to my resume writing teacher, probably more than trilingual, but at least trilingual, because I can count to 10 in Laotian and German. I can't count well, let's be clear, because I know somebody's going to say, how do you do it? Well, you don't do it well if you're doing it my way, because I learned years ago and I forgot the pronunciations. But German, Spanish, and of course English. Seems like there's, oh yeah, Laotian, German, and Spanish. I can count to 10. That's really pretty much, and I can pick up things off TV in Spanish that I've heard a lot. You don't want me trying to speak Spanish. Now I can tell you how to say I like you, I love you, and I hate you in Laotian. I don't remember which one is which. It says koi hak jiao, koi mak jiao, koi song jiao. And we learned something new. A Laotian is by Vietnam. In case you're wondering, I also know a word I probably shouldn't know in Vietnamese, but I'm not saying that because I don't talk like that. Let's see. Steve says, I used to write and run on sentences, then became a teacher, and then I learned I should not write that way, but I could not help it. But eventually I got better. And you're honoring. Steve is honoring. If you look at the chat, and why aren't you looking at the chat? Because funny things go on there behind my back. That entire sentence didn't have punctuation. I think I love him. Melissa says, Stephen, I speak standard English and then Appalachian English. She's using punctuation, by the way. That's why it sounds different for me to say. So I know what you mean when someone says, her feller fit. Okay, Melissa's messing with me. Her feller fit over her and his and with her man. I call it a hick accent. I have a hick accent. I hide well. Melissa puts things in chat like that. My jaw starts wanting to really show you that hick accent. We're not going to do that. So we have sewing, English lessons, language lessons. My resume is growing as we speak. and then, yes, Martha's creative life. And then I remember teachers wanting you not to do. And then, why did you put and then? Because it did this and then. No, it didn't. Period. Nuisance. That's not how my brain sees it. And Bland Designs and the Idiot Quilter, Steven says, Steven, see, I did it again. Steven or Steve is fine. I apologize. I don't know why I keep wanting to say Steven. Thank you. Lori Miller says, that would give me a headache, Melissa. If it gets so too bad or long, figuring it out would hurt. I know, right? Melissa says, I don't need ancestry. I have 150 first cousins, plus their grown children and grandchildren. I have never tried to count my first cousins. My grandmother had 13 children. My mom was the baby. There's a bunch. My husband got on my ancestry tree. I put one for his DNA just so people could see where his line goes to with his direct line goes to. But on mine, it goes down every rabbit hole you can imagine. So it's like a forest of trees. And he's like, why do you do that? Because when I find a clue, I have to chase it till it dead ends. And then I try to remember where I started. Say yun. Messing with my tongue. Yun. Y'all need to calm down. That's what my act. One day I'm going to listen to Loretta Lynn and really twangy country before I come on a live, and y'all will regret your choices. Lori says, I understand the Canadian English because I grew up by the borders. Deborah Holman says, took French in high school. Martha's Creative Life, it sounded pretty, Coleen. Thank you. Bland Designs and the Idiot Quilter. Steve says, how to speak Canadian English 101. Put A at the end of every sentence. I've heard that. I didn't think it was nice. And I was like, they can't all do that, just like they can't all be nice. Can they? Can they? My husband, funny story, when he was in the military, they up in New York, when they had leave, they would go into Canada. So him and his buddies, they get whatever. I can't remember what they had, but and my husband says don't use him for, my lives or anything else. But I am so near. He'll never watch this. They went over to Canada, and on their way back in, they asked him, "Do you have anything to declare?" He pointed to the short guy in the group, or they pointed to the short guy in the group, and they said him. And they were looking at him. He's like, "He is a lethal weapon." They should have arrested you. But I've seen pictures of the guy. My husband's 6 foot. This guy was like 5 foot, maybe less. So when you point to that guy and say he's a lethal weapon, I don't think the Border Patrol thought it was as funny as they did. Okay. Oh. It says English 101, but A at the end of every sentence. And then he said, but equals put. Spelling again. See, now I'm comfortable speaking and run on sentences and mispronouncing things. Once again. I'm surprised at how many English teachers I've ran into on YouTube. There is a lot, and I always feel bad. The is English, LOL, Lori Miller says. And it's a boot instead of a bout. Clearly, this is the section of the live where we're just going to mess with Colleen's jaw. I don't do accents. I so don't do accents. I can do hillbilly. Great. But I'm not gonna. Or this live. I'm sitting over here trying to figure out how to put an A at the end of my sentence without my Southern accent sounding really fake. I know, right? I joke that my family tree doesn't always branch. Melissa. Plan Designs, the Idiot Quilter. Steve says, all the French I know, I learned from the side of a cereal box. You know, and that's something all the Asians that I knew, that most of them were Asian, the foreigners when I was younger, a lot of them learned their English from cartoons. That's where they learned their English from. And something else I didn't know until I knew, when I can't remember which country it was, but when they came over here and get their documentation, they would say they were younger than what they were, so they could go to school here. So beware if you're dating a guy who says he's 20 and looks 30. I have no idea about that kind of thing. Let's see. Sometimes it loops. I don't know what's looping. Martha is laughing. Everybody's laughing. Besides the Idiot Quilter. How's your liver, eh? See, I told you I'd shoot it. Eastern Canada expression. I know the words. Martha says, I'll feel right at home with my hillbilly. Y'all is my word. Don says, my northern family makes fun of me because I've got the southern draw. I think when we went to school, the teachers would they thought that we had speech impediments. And I've told this story a million times. I know, for those of you who don't know, the teachers thought we had speech impediments until they talked to my mom and realized it was an accent. So somehow between then and now, I've managed to get most of mine out, I think. I don't know. I sound normal to me. Just don't go get me pronouncing weird words. Dawn says, my northern family makes fun of me because I've got the southern draw. I think I read that already. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Steve says, yes, we are all nice. We will kill anyone who says differently. True story. I go, I'm not a good person. Oh my goodness. Okay. Martha says, love it, Dawn. Deborah, Heavy is from Southern Illinois and Kentucky, so I understand where you are coming from. Oh, goodness, Deborah. Yes. I don't say a much at all, Tracy says. Tracy Elmer says, guess who, Nancy? Deborah, he is from my neck of the woods. Tracy, I speak French to my youngest. Yes. When we're on Discord and she starts talking French, I'm just like, translate now. Translate. I can learn words if you just translate them. Please teach me the good words, though. Because last time I was taught a word and told it was one thing, when I said it, that was not at all what that word was. Plan Designs and the Idiot Quilter. Steve says, English teachers breathe and drink a lot as well. Breed and drink. Okay, breed. Breed is right. See, now I think you're just messing with me. Plan Designs, Idiot Quilter. Coleen, when we do the interview, we're going to have a lot of fun. Yes, we will. And my butt is reminding you, get the thumbs up, because I hate saying that. I love saying it in other people's chats. I just don't like to say it in my own. Don't forget to give the thumbs up. Give me a sub. Ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss this every Monday. Hopefully it stays that way. Who knows? Things change. Comment and share. Kindness is contagious. Be the light you hope to see in others. Please visit my mods and my friends and Thank you, mods, for being here and helping me out. We rarely get troublesome people, but it happens on occasion, and it's nice to have a backup. Guess who, Nancy? Okay, Coleen, try this. Oh, my jaw is already denying that sentence. See, she says, try this. Now, y'all come on over here. That was actually pretty good. Not hickey, not hillbilly-ish. I'm telling you, Loretta Lynn, strong accents, throw me off. Deborah says, my grandma spoke French, but it was old French, and I spoke school French. LOL, not compatible. LOL. I've heard that. I've heard there's different types of French. Now, I watch a lady. She does, she's Sophia, My Great Challenge. And I know she's in the bot. Yep, she's in the bot. She does she is like people. I wasn't into the sewing when I first started watching her, but then when I had to learn to sew, she was the second. Nope, the first person I watched. And she made it sound so easy. Let's see if I can get Sophia. She does DIY, she does woodwork, she does everything. And she'll tell you she's not a professional, but when you see the things come out, oh my gosh. She's the reason that half my cabinets got refinished. Quilting's the reason the other half didn't. And driving. Oh, okay. Deborah, I already read that. Doris Dale, good morning. I'm sorry I missed you coming in. It's good to see you. They made my son take speech therapy from kindergarten to 5th grade because of his Southern accent. Oh my goodness. I guess when they saw all three of us with the same, I don't know. I dated a guy, I swear, he only dated me to hear my mom talk. Yes, there is something wrong with that. We had moved up to Washington State. And my mom's accent, I don't notice, but apparently it's a rarity up there. No, it's just you. New Jew. I don't know what you're saying. I'm going to go back and rewatch the replay. And first thing I'm going to say next Monday is, I am sorry. I just know it. What are we doing? Lauren Miller says, might have to look into classes on a foreign language now. LOL. And there's my friend Melissa, who is going to be live this afternoon at 2, weather permits and everything else permits. I don't know what. Yet. Oh, yet. I got mess with people. That's what I want to know. I'm going to shut up now while people answer me. Why you got to mess with us? Oh my gosh. I don't even know what my camera is. My camera usually goes wonky about this time. I don't have another page up. I usually watch. Nope, I don't have another page up. So if my camera's wonky, nobody has said anything. Thank you. Oh, and Tracy says, nod you. That's actually a sentence. Doris Dale, my daughter married a man from Belgium last year, and he's still learning English. His native language is French, and he also speaks Dutch. That's cool. I've always been intrigued by foreign languages. My jaw doesn't care for them, but I like to hear other people talk. Bland Designs, Idiot Quilter. Steve, I have to run, but this has been a lot of fun. Thank you for joining us this morning. I appreciate it, and I will appreciate it. See, 2 words, not 1. I appreciate you coming, and don't miss him and Stephanie Wednesday morning live. I hope you have a good day. Martha says, hope you have a good day, or your day is wonderful. Watch me make up things people say now. Don Denny got to run. Okay, everybody's taking off on me, so you know what that means. It's time to go, y'all. It's been fun. I appreciate everyone joining me. Let me catch up on comments real quick. We got super stuff in there. I need to remember, and I'm sure Melissa will help me to put Steve in the bot. Everybody said bye to Steve. See Don Denny, gotta run. See y'all lovely people, lovely peeps later. Have a great day, everyone. See, I don't know. Hubby said that he ended up saying wabbit instead of rabbit after speech therapy. To be fair, he probably watched Elmer Fudd. Looney Tunes. I mean, didn't we all grow up thinking that's how you said rabbit? Oh, there's Quilting with Stephanie Stitches. I didn't even see you come in. You've got a Monday going up sometime today. I caught up with all your stuff Saturday morning. And now I've got a whole new set of stuff to catch up. I didn't catch up. I didn't comment because I watched it on TV. Like, that's what kind of day it's going to be. It's going to be a TV catching up. No comments for me, which you know is hard. And what I thought I was going to do was watch all of them and then go back to one and comment on all of them. That's not how that went. Let's see. Where do we go? Thank you, Melissa. There is super, I started to say super Steph's link. There is Quilting with Stephanie Stitches link. And her Etsy shop link, her web link, and her retreats that she does with Yvette. All of her links are there. If you don't have your chat box open, please do and check out everybody. And usually if I mention something, there's links below, but I can tell you I don't remember putting any in there because I just didn't. Everybody's saying good morning to Tracy. Melissa, why the aggression this morning? Killed a wabbit. Let's talk about this aggressive behavior. This is actually how I talk to college boy all the time. We'll be laughing and let's discuss this like grown-ups. That's as far as that goes. Because to discuss things like grown-ups, you need at least one. Melissa says, thanks for the fun chat. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Melissa. Good morning, Stephanie. Hi, Martha. Killed. I'm going to say it twice. Yes, I am. Killed a wabbit. Because I like saying wabbit. We all learned about opera from Bugs Bunny. Yes, we did. Wascally Wabbit. Thank you for joining us here at Looney Tunes Daily. I had a ball. I hope you did. Yeah, there's more quilty sewing stuff going on in the first part of this live. So if you're catching me at the end and that's what you want to see, what was up with that? Maybe I'll put timestamps in. Kind of doubt it, but it could happen. Was that Rosanna? Yeah, it could happen. No, let's come back out of that rabbit hole. Oh, see, Tracy can't join in a grown-up talk either. Leaves her out. She's not grown most days. It's okay, Tracy. You're a good company. Got the feeling a lot of us here resemble that remark. Got to keep the kids and us laughing. Yes. Feed the child in you, which makes me think I need candy. Melissa Practically Creative says, Judy Tenuto. That's it. It can happen. I can't say it like her. And I apologize for that attempt. Deborah, I'm 65, not grown. That's my plan. I plan to be like Deborah when I get 65. Assuming my husband lets me. I know. Y'all know he can't stop me. I let him control a lot of things. I even act normal most of the time. Martha meets you. Thank you for joining me. And I am actually going to sign off now. I saw my chat, Scarlett, and fear of missing out. Seriously, exclamation point, fear of missing out. It's going to happen just so I don't have to say it. Well, I need two hands to write, left, right-handed. That doesn't look like FOMO to me. Everyone, I hope your Monday has started great or ended great if you're in Australia. I hope you all have a fantastic week. Be the light you hope to see in others. Let's be kind to one another. And I'll see you next Monday, if not before. I don't know if this or next week is my last week off from driving. So I'll talk to you later. Keep an eye out on everybody's channels. All kinds of shorts going up. Love you guys. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, moderators. I really appreciate you being here. It helps keep me calm because, you know, I'm anxious still. I'm anxious still when I go live on YouTube because I'm not a camera person. Camera doesn't like me. I don't like it. Take care.